Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for our second dynamic leg and core workout. Now, if you have not warmed up yet, I would highly recommend go to our tutorial page and watch the short video on how to do a dynamic warm-up and complete that before you attempt doing any of this. Now, this workout is really going to be geared at shifting the focus of what muscle is breaking down, primarily staying below the hips, and then working in a little bit of core as your legs start to fatigue out. But you really want to make sure that all your joints are moving the way that they should, and that you don't have any unusual muscle or tendon or ligament tension before you go into this, especially if you choose to use a weight. So it's going to be 5 exercises. Most are going to be on a 10 rep sequence, and then it will end with a 1-minute plank hold if you're capable. If you can't hold the full minute, just go as long as you can. And the easy indicator is if your lower back starts to really tighten up and almost feel like it's going to cramp, that's your sign to stop. Between rounds, the goal is to only rest for 30 seconds to a minute at most. Get a quick drink of water, brush the sweat off if you need, and then get right back to it as soon as the time runs out. And it's your choice. You could do between 5 or 10 rounds if you're capable. So if you do a full 10 sets of this workout, you're essentially going to do 100 isolated reps per movement and 10 minutes worth of planks. So it's going to be a pretty significant workload by the time it's all said and done. But I'll walk you through every movement as we go, and I'll do one complete round with you just so you get an idea for the pacing and the form. And then, as I said, have at it. Do 5 to 10 rounds. I wouldn't recommend going beyond that, because at that point, that high of a rep count could end up being a bit of a negative. So I'll get to it. The first exercise is going to be squats. Now, you can choose to do them weighted or unweighted, but either way, keep your arms up, and you're just going to be going slow and steady to a half squat depth if you can. Just pacing real slow as you go, and try to maintain that weight and keep it up at your shoulder height. 9 and 10. Now the next exercise is going to be deadlifts. For this, you don't have to use a weight, but if you choose to, find something that's easy to grip on both sides, that's comfortable and controllable, and start all the way where the weight is mid-thigh, shoulders are pulled back, and as you descend, let your hips drift backwards. Try not to bend at the knees. Make sure you keep your back slightly arched up towards your shoulders, and then squeeze your glutes and push your hips forward as you stand. And this should be as slow and controlled as you can go. Really trying to focus on that stretch through your hamstrings and the contraction through your glutes on the way up. And 9 and 10. And anytime you're moving a weight, whether you're lifting it off the ground or you're resetting it, try your best to maintain good form. Don't do what I just did, where I reached a little bit and then let it go. That's typically where most people get hurt, is when they're reaching at an unusual angle while still holding a weight. So try to avoid that. The next exercise is going to be continuous lunges. So you're going to pick one leg to brace on and one leg to move with at the beginning. And a full rep is forward to back. So that's 1. And you're going to do 10 on each leg before you switch legs. 5 8, 9, 10. And then shake out your base leg a little bit before you switch. Get your feet reset. And then same thing on the other side. 5, 9, 10. So the next movement we're going to go into is hip bridges. So you can do these flat on the ground, but if you have a surface to get your feet elevated a bit, just makes it a little more effective. So make sure your heels are flat, your knees and your hips should be perpendicular to the ground. Keep your hands flat and to the side. Keep your head relaxed, and you're pushing your hips up so that your shoulders, hips, and knees make one level line all the way up. So every time you push up, that's 1. And try your best not to let your butt touch the ground between reps. Nine, 10. And then the last movement is just a plank hold. Again, the goal is 1 minute, so you'll need a timer if you have one. Just get it set, and then hit your form. Try to slow your breathing, and you're just holding steady. Now this is the point, if you're really trying to cut down on the rest you need between rounds, focus as much as you can on getting your breathing back to normal, that you're kind of self-checking through gentle contractions. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your butt, squeeze your biceps. You know, try to move a little bit just to see how everything's feeling. And that way you know if you're going to be able to recover in only 30 seconds. If you feel like you're gasping for air at the end of this minute, you're probably not going to be ready. You might need to take the rest out a little bit, and especially walk around in between rounds. That way blood keeps moving, and it might help you recover a little bit quicker. I'm down to the last 15. 10. 5. Done. And when you're done with planks, try not to let your weight drop rapidly, because typically what will hit first is your knees. And if your muscles are a little bit fatigued, especially at the joints from all the lunges and squats, you don't want a fatigued joint slamming into the ground. It could be a quick way to ask for a pretty random injury. So that's the workout. It's going to be 10 squats, 10 deadlifts, 10 forward to reverse lunges on each leg, 10 hip bridges, and then you roll over into a 1 minute plank hold. And the focus is everything from the hips down from a pure exhaustion and fatigue standpoint, and then you're just targeting and isolating your lower abs due to how exhausted your leg muscles are. So this is a dynamic leg and core workout. Again, don't forget to warm up. Check out the video on that if you need some help, and stay tuned for more workouts to come. Please comment with any suggestions. Please subscribe to get videos as soon as we publish, and we look forward to seeing you real soon. Take care.
Wanna live a life